Brethren lads, welcome back to Kossi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kossi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. 5-year deals are incoming, including Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Aaron Ramsdale. We are also going to be discussing the future of Albert Sambi-Lokonga and, of course, Marquinhos. Should they be going out on loan to get more game time, but also to find a little bit of freedom to play more and also develop better as players? In the comment section, talk to me about the future of Marquinhos. Should we let Marquinhos go in January, provided if we get someone to replace him in that area? Should Arsenal, let Marquinhos go out on loan, or should we let him stay around because we need every member of the squad around? And Albert Sambi-Lokonga, what are your impressions? What are your thoughts on this guy? Is he never going to develop into the player we anticipated that he would become? Is it still too early for us to judge? Or should Arsenal give up on him and then swap him with players like Manuel Locatelli, just like Italian outlets have actually been suggesting throughout the past 3 weeks? Let me know in the comment section. I would really love to hear from you. Hit the like button for me as well. Let's get this video to 300 likes. Now, first and foremost, Fabrizio Romano has come out and confirmed that there are a couple of deals Arsenal are working on. These deals are going to take some time because players are still thinking and considering about committing their long-term futures to Arsenal. But among the deals we're talking about here, we're talking about Gabriel Magalhaes' new deal. We're talking about Aaron Ramsdale's new deal, Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, and of course, the man himself there, William Saliba. So all these deals are still in the pipeline. We're going to be breaking down each deal, try to see where we are and what are the chances of success that we actually break through. I'll also talk about Marquinhos and Albert Sambi-Lokonga as well. Now, first and foremost, Bukayo Saka is the big deal that Arsenal have been working on ever since the end of the transfer summer. Actually, since February, Arsenal have been talking to the representatives of Bukayo Saka, trying to negotiate our way around, find a consensus, and get the deal done. Like Mikel Arteta said during the beginning of the season, you don't want these players to be distracted. You don't want these players to be, you don't want their attention to be divided. You want them to be fully focused on the football. And that's why Arsenal are trying to sign Saka on a new deal before the start of the season. Now, that was not actually able to be realized. It looks like there are a few things to be ironed out between Arsenal, the representatives of Bukayo Saka, and the player as well. But what we know is Saka wants to stay at Arsenal Football Club. There is no brainer. That's a no-brainer. Mikel has already come out and said we are at the same page. We are on the same page as Bukayo Saka and his representatives. The representatives and the player as well have said we hope there will be a mutual consensus on this one. We don't expect to leave the club, go to Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, and all those clubs. Yes, they're monitoring the situation of the player, but it is highly unlikely that we will actually lose Bukayo Saka anytime soon. So what is actually holding this deal? Apart from Fabrizio Romano claiming and clearing the air that these deals are going to take some time, the question is, why is it taking a year? Why is it taking almost 12 months for us to convince a player who's already convinced about staying at Arsenal? What is taking so long? My problem with this deal, guys, is the price and actually salary that we have been talking about. 200k plus a week for Bukayo Saka. I feel like Arsenal do not want to commit themselves to that kind of figure. And in the end, I won't be very surprised if Arsenal decide we won't give you 200 plus K a week in terms of pounds. You either agree to our deal or you actually move on. Now, you look at the importance of Bukayo Saka in this team. He's massively important. He deserves 200k in my opinion. I've already said this on this channel, and I'm not going to contradict myself to say I'm backing the club. But I think Arsenal are not yet there. They're not yet at the same page where you want to pay a player like Bukayo Saka 200,000. That's going to create a lot of problems in the squad. The likes of Odegaard, the likes of Martinelli and Saliba as well will be asking for the same amount of money. I think that would be a little bit more of Arsenal creating a problem rather than doing away with it. So that is reason number one why this deal is not actually over the line yet. I think Arsenal still contemplating, do we give him 200k per week, including bonuses? How do we structure the deal and do that? And if we give him 200k per week, how does it look in the eyes of these other players? And how do we convince them that Saka is on 200k, but you guys will be earning way more less than that? But in the end, This is what I'm going to say to you as Arsenal fans. Don't be afraid. There's so many rumors out there. Chelsea, City, United, all these clubs are not going to take Saka away. We know he's been in the Arsenal academy. We know he understands the Arsenal doctrine. Actually, the socialization he's gone through with the club is one reason that I believe Saka will choose to stay rather than move on. If we decided to sell probably 100 million, probably 150 million in Bukayo Saka would not be a bad deal. We could easily sell him to Real Madrid. I think I don't know if Madrid would be interested really in signing a young Englishman at the moment, but if we can sell him to a club like Real Madrid overseas, meet him once in a while in the UEFA Champions League, I got no problems with that. But currently, Fabrizio says Arsenal have made it a priority to get these deals done, and they're not thinking about losing any of the players. The second player is Gabriel Martinelli, and this one looks like the easier one. For me, I think Gabriel Martinelli, I said it, he wants to stay. He breathes Arsenal. He walks Arsenal. He eats Arsenal. All his life is Arsenal. Actually, I still remember seeing a graphic of his place, bedroom, and space, where everything was totally Arsenal. His bed was Arsenal, table was Arsenal, his shoes, bathroom shoes were Arsenal, and his carpet was Arsenal as well. And that really communicates a lot to what Mikel Arteta has always been speaking about. You want to have players that are committed. You want to have players that are fully focused on being here. They understand what is going on. They love the project. They love the club. And they also love the team as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Saka is taking this long to sign a new deal because he doesn't love the club. That is not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say here is that with players like Gabi Martinelli, it is more shocking for him to leave Arsenal rather than staying. I don't expect Martinelli's deal to take like 2 to 3 months. I don't think it will go that far. The most it will go is gonna be 1 to 1.5 months, just to try to negotiate a few deals. His contract runs down in 2023. Arsenal have an option to extend up to 2024. And what we're trying to do here really is we're trying to use this time to extend his contract up to 2027. So for me, Martinelli, with all he has done, and his agent also confirming that the development of the player hugely depends on where he's playing. Currently, Arsenal is the right price and right place. I don't see how we are actually going to let him go. So Gabriel Martinelli is another one. Fabrizio says Arsenal working that one in the next days. So Martinelli could sign faster than Bukayo Saka. That would be quite fascinating. That would be quite very intriguing. That we've talked to Saka for over a year, and then Martinelli signs fast. But that is another deal that Arsenal really need to do. One of the best left wingers in the world right now. Apart from Vinicius Jr., I could think about a few other names, yes, but in the Premier League, for me, he's actually one of the best. He's one of the best two left wingers in the Premier League right now. At that age, we always said it, get injuries out of his game, he's going to be an absolute gem. Number 3 is, of course, William Saliba. We've already talked about William Saliba and how Mikel Arteta has contributed to the development process of the young Frenchman. But the big question here is, does William Saliba really want to stay? Speaking to a couple of media outlets in France, he said, currently, I'm happy with the project. I'm happy with Mikel Arteta. I'm happy to be here, and probably this is where my heart belongs. I'm looking at this Arsenal team as home and family as well. Now, I did have some doubt in William Saliba staying with Arsenal, and the reasons were he felt unloved, he felt unwanted by the team and Mikel Arteta. But after some team talk between him and the board and probably the likes of the hierarchy, he's actually decided Arsenal is the right place. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to be playing enough football. So William Saliba, that one is another one that we have to keep our eyes on. Big clubs are actually monitoring his situation. Madrid, Chelsea, the likes of Liverpool, all these big clubs are actually looking at William Saliba and they're saying, fail to get him on a new deal, and we're actually going to snatch him on a bargain. But I don't think he will leave Arsenal. Fabrizio says Arsenal made it a priority that these three will actually sign new deals. So in my opinion, I don't see how we fail to get Saliba on a new deal as well. So Saliba, in my opinion, will get a new deal. Martinelli will get a new deal, and then Bukayo Saka will get a new deal as well. So those are the 3 deals that have been dominating in terms of Arsenal and what we're trying to do within our squad. The other 2 deals are more of appreciation deals. That is Gabriel Magalhaes and Aaron Ramsdale. Now, what I've seen and what I've heard is that Arsenal trying to reward Aaron Ramsdale with a salary and a package that fits into a first-choice goalkeeper at a club like Arsenal. I mean, there's so many privileges that come with playing with Arsenal, but there's so many privileges that come with playing for Arsenal in the first team. Currently, the team is flying, the squad is flying, and everyone is benefiting. Ramsdale, although in my opinion he's not been up there with the best performers of Arsenal Football Club so far, but I find he has actually saved us a few points, or many points actually, against Leeds United. His performance was absolutely outstanding against Liverpool as well. I think he made a very, very, a few very good saves that could actually, that kept us into the game as well. Yeah, he's a goalkeeper that can win you around 10 to 13 points on average. If you add, probably add him more money, give him more deals, and make his deal a little bit more lucrative, it could actually boost his morale and motivation as well. For me, Ramsdale getting a new deal for a new package, more money, more things to take on, I would actually agree with that. Gabriel Magalhaes is another player that we've always talked about on this channel. The big question with Gabriel Magalhaes is, can he iron out those simple mistakes that happen almost on a daily basis on every match day? Can he actually do that? And then I think the other question with Gabriel Magalhaes, can he keep his calm, relax a little bit, don't lose your head in games? You're a senior player now, you're turning 25, you're a senior player among a very, very young squad. So can he stop those things of, that could cost the team anytime? For example, what he did against Leeds United in the dying minutes of the game, that was absolutely stupid. We are winning the game, we're running away with 3 points, and you're potentially trying to cause a penalty situation. That is unacceptable. If he can iron out those things in his game, he's a super defender, and I think he's going to develop into a very, very, very formidable force in the backline. So Arsenal also planning to give him a new deal just to make sure that we retain him. Juventus have been trying to knock on the door all the time, trying to replace their players as well. The likes of Bayern Munich, the likes of Real Madrid could also be looking around this young centre-back market and trying to snatch up 1 or 2 players that are actually available. So you want to get him on a new deal as quickly as possible to stop all those problems from happening. So, look, the way we are handling contract situations right now is absolutely magnificent. I think Edu deserves a lot of credit in that area. Just making sure that players don't run into the final year of their deals. That is what you have to do. Like the likes of Alexander Lacazette, the likes of Mesut Ozil, the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, one of the problems we faced with them is we let those deals run into their final year. So a player has so many options there. One is to sign with a foreign club, time down to a contract, and then live on a free. The other one is to ask for high, prices in terms of salary and all that. So if you don't let players run their deals into the final year, it actually helps you very, very much. Now, the other part I want to discuss in this video is about Marquinhos leaving on loan and the future of Albert Samuel Lokonga. I've seen a few outlets writing about Albert Samuel Lokonga and Marquinhos. With Marquinhos, it's more of a notion that he could actually leave out on loan in January, depending on who comes in through the door. Now, I don't have a problem with Marquinhos leaving. I think what he has done in the Europa League has been absolutely very good, but his football for this season is absolutely over. I don't see him contribute very, very much to what is remaining of the season. Arsenal going to be playing every game now like a final. I don't think this is a season where we'll be contented walking away with nothing. We want to get out of this season at least with something. Probably get the Europa League, the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, or even the Premier League. So with players like Marquinhos, the pressure could be a little bit too early, and it could be a little bit very, very early in their careers. So letting him out, let him go for out on loan to Spain, probably the Championship or any other league where he's going to get more game time, develop his talent, develop into the player that he wants to become. I don't think that's a very, very bad idea. Not at all at the moment. The problem now is with Albert Samuel Lokonga. And I need to get your thoughts here, guys, on Albert Samuel Lokonga. What do we do with this guy? Do we let him go? Has he failed? Is he a flop? Will he come around? Or do we need to swap him with Manuel Locatelli, just like a few outlets have actually been suggesting? Now, I've seen a few stories in Italy claiming that Arsenal interested in Manuel Locatelli once again. We are willing to swap Albert Samuel Lokonga with the Italian man. Now, of course, Locatelli is one player that would be very, very happy to join Arsenal right now. We are cruising, and those he's not getting that game time that he hoped to get at Juve. He's not controlling the midfield like he thought he would at Juventus. And also, the kind of situation Juventus are in, any player would be happy to grab a deal and run. But my question with Albert Samuel Lokonga and my concern with Lokonga, there is talent in there. We've seen him when he's on the ball. His passing ability is late. I think he's a good ball player. But the question, can he play as a single pivot? Can he play as a defensive midfielder? Is he good without the ball? That is where my problem is. Can he develop that part of his game? Can he develop into a monster like Thomas Partey? Someone we can trust, someone we can embark on, that when Thomas Partey isn't around, when we do not have our defensive midfielder, Lokonga will step in and will give us that performance. I think that is where he's still lacking. So in the comment section, talk to me. What do you think about Albert Samuel Lokonga? Is he a player that we should let go? Probably. Or is a player that we definitely need to keep around? And I'll speak to you in the next one. Hit the like button for me and subscribe as well.